Hello there.
Now, I don't know about y'all, but I do be feeling like Patty Mahomes with these Sopranos reactions. It's been under a month and we've gotten through over 26 episodes of The Sopranos, along with movie reactions, along with finishing True Detective. So I hope you guys have been enjoying the reactions. I think you guys have, because I see you guys complimenting the breakdowns, the analysis, calling me out on things. I do not care. I love it. I love the interactions and I love you guys in the comment section. I hope you guys love the energy I bring to this show and sometimes my viewpoints. And some of you guys have said that, oh, I didn't pick up on this when I watched Sopranos, and I've watched this many times. So I love you guys for that. The support has been absolutely amazing. So what's going on, guys? My name is Elie Moses, a 23-year-old law and film student here from Sydney, Australia, shooting his shot, baby. And today we are up to episode 4 of The Sopranos season 3, titled Employee of the Month. We're gonna waste no more time. We're gonna get into the reaction, and as always, we're gonna have some fun with this thing and absolutely smash it. Let's get into it. Let's go. Man, one take intro and I fumble a little bit at the end. Shaking my head. It's alright, it's alright. I'm guessing that's that phone call about AJ.
Hello.
Tony, it's me.
Oh no.
Don't hang up.
What the fuck are you calling here for? You know you can answer this phone?
Please, you are so conceited. Do you really think I wanted to call you?
I think you're drinking and dialing. I can smell the vanilla stoli from here.
Yell to your sister, not to me. A wicked spin, and my poor cousin still is not having her prosthetic leg.
What the fuck you want me to do?
Tony, please. I miss you so much. Can't you come over here?
Don't ever call here again.
Obviously, I use this word a lot in this show, and it's early to be pausing, but the juxtaposition cuts between Tony dealing with something with his children, or having sort of a scene with his children, and then cutting to, for instance, the bada bing, with women dancing erotically and things like that. And then here, it was like a juxtaposition sort of ending to a beginning with the episode, where I'm thinking, okay, this is the phone call for AJ, who's clearly had an attack, and yeah, this is going to be the moment where Tony's going to panic and he's going to quickly rush. Carmela's going to quickly rush. They're going to stop all things and get to it. But no, it is ex-Gumar. And I'm just like, oh, okay. Another juxtaposition, sort of like event type thing leading from one episode to another. And it would have been interesting to watch at the time, actually.
Didn't you see my favorite patient today? The guy's conning.
Condescend to me, Richard. It gets me so hot.
Tell me a little more about this breakthrough, then. You yourself said the guy's alexithymic. You said nothing's going to get through. Not if it threatens that straw house he's built inside his head to shelter his base criminality. It really concerns me you don't see this, Jen. I mean, pink slip this guy. He's dangerous.
I'm gonna pink slip you if you don't get that chicken in the oven.
Is that no? Looks good.
Did you bring your log?
My log?
Remember last week? You were gonna keep a record.
Okay, so they have changed the camera angles now again for this conversation, for this therapy session. And I mentioned that last episode. I haven't uploaded last episode yet, so I don't know what you guys' thoughts are going to be on my analysis with that point. But this time, the camera is sort of placed in like sort of like the right-hand side of Tony, looking at his left shoulder. And this time it's on Melfi's right-hand side, with her, and placed on the left-hand side. Whereas last episode, it was completely the opposite.
I asked you to write down any feelings of anxiety or memories of past anxiety attacks.
Yeah, my parents in the pork store. I know. Yeah, that was interesting.
Have you thought at all about that?
How do people find the time?
To get well?
Are we just not going to address the
My
AJ
mother's
thing?
dead. I haven't had a panic attack since.
You've gone months without them before. The conflicts that caused them and your depression are buried deep inside you. Are you happy?
Am I happy? You know, that's not even... Look, I'm sorry I didn't bring the list. I'll bring it next week.
He had homework to do and he didn't do it. The ducks ate their homework. Blame it on the ducks.
We ought to think about bringing your wife into this.
In here.
Yes, please.
Carmela.
Please.
You're the one who wanted to take a more proactive approach.
Cinema.
That's not in the future.
Let's talk frankly. You demanded more of me. Fine. But you're not trying.
Yeah, I know. The past. But shit happens in my daily life that needs attention now. I mean, I got some genuine concerns, about my son. He shies away from anything that requires effort, and I think maybe he picks that up from me. I mean, he's in football now, right? But Carmela's just as guilty about this as I am. But she indulges him.
To dissolve into Melfi's therapy
Richard
session.
was right. I've been charmed by a sociopath. Why didn't I listen?
Why, do you think?
Why did I reject a good man like Richard in the first place? If you think about my life, it's so textbook. Marry a man 10 years my senior. Of course, Richard's gonna be protective and patriarchal. And then I reject him for being exactly that.
There's nothing wrong with wanting to be safe, Jen. It's a basic human need.
I know Richard's right. I should get Tony Soprano. Oh, shit.
I always thought it was that other guy in the news, little Augie April.
Hey, she revealed the name.
I can't believe I revealed his name.
Why did you?
Just an outburst,
Does
man.
Richard know who he is?
I think he saw it in my daytimer once. That's why he's been so adamant, because Soprano is very high up.
If he was just some button man, you wouldn't be treating him?
Elliot, please, huh, with the terminology?
Jennifer, you know psychotherapy is limited in the treatment of anxiety disorder. Now, you've medicated Soprano properly. You've helped him gain what insight he's able to absorb. It's time to send him on to a behaviorist.
Isn't a sociopath someone who completely shows no emotion? So have they got that, like the other therapist has got that diagnosis kind of wrong? Because there's been spurts this episode where clearly Tony has shown emotion, whether it be a little bit delayed. He has tendencies to show emotion. We've seen it with the conversations with Meadow in the dark and things like that. There's been multiple occasions where you can say Tony is showing genuine emotion, empathy, sympathy for other individuals. It may be delayed at some points. It might be, he might have a bad internet connection with it and say, I'm lagging, and then I end up having those thoughts later down the track. But there has been moments where I can feel like, he's not an individual that is completely beyond emotion. I just feel like he has it, but it's just in spurts, or it will come after sort of like an event. This woman this season. You're looking for the gold mine, man. Like, honestly.
Can't have it. Don't fuck with me on this, Janice. Get back the leg.
Tony, those records are yours, too. It's sad that you don't care. Like those old albums, they're a window into my soul. In fact, I'm making a documentary. The World War II generation and their music, exemplified by Ma.
Who the fuck are you kidding? You're gonna sell them on the internet.
Tony, call her out for her bullshit.
Yeah, right. Cleaning up the cellar. Good luck finding the lost Dutchman's gold mine, Janice.
I just said
Ain't
gold
only
mine.
working a real job.
Right. Like the minute I'm out of here, you're not gonna have contractors downstairs tearing apart the walls.
Oh, Janice.
Don't go there. Don't you dare go there.
You finished? I want to meet my bud at the gym. We're gonna spar.
Look, kid, I'm trying real hard here. I know it's tough on you. I'm the guy that's dating your mom.
Dating?
Don't get fucking filthy about it.
Hey, he ain't the stepfather. He the father that stepped up, baby.
This was a good idea she had. Us going out to dinner. Not that I think one conversation ever solved anybody's problems.
I'm only here so I don't have to hear her bitching and crying.
You said you approved.
You're collecting on my fucking roots. You gotta pay me a use fee.
They're only your roots because you say they are.
You want to question a New Jersey business practice that goes back 70 years?
Hey, what is all this, Rafi?
I ought to stick a shish kebab up your ass.
Why do you provoke me, huh?
I recognize that guy.
Young buck. He'll fuck your wife until she moans.
Fucking wop. You began it, huh?
The fuck you call me?
You bring my wife into this?
Huh? Put it down. Huh?
Hey, mister, come on. Hey.
Get the fucking back.
A little bit of a
You
stepfather,
ready? Get you?
Fucking asshole.
stepson tag team duo here.
In the breadbasket. Good kid. Introduce him to his desk. You ought to take an anger management course. Fucking racial slurs.
Why are you doing this to me?
I think he's doing it just to show Jackie that he's just more of an individual that's just dating his mum. Like he's got another side to him, and maybe this will bring Jackie closer to him, and he could have a potential use for Jackie as well through this.
Let's go, kid.
And it gives Jackie a kick because we know where Jackie Jr.'s intentions are. He wants to be in the game. He's not going to go down the doctor's path. His father has passed away. And yeah.
Yeah? Ginny. It's Tony Soprano.
Oh, my God, what's wrong with me? I'm a mess here with the moving. Come in, I'll get John.
Damn. We entered Big Mama's house.
John! John, get down here! You got company!
Oh, look who's here. The Guinea welcome wagon. This is for you, you piece of shit. Carmela's bringing something nice to the housewarming for Ginny. We were sitting with Carmine all night long. You never once mentioned you bought a place in Jersey.
Well, it's not Carmine's favorite subject, me living in Jersey, but it's what, half an hour, 40 minutes over the bridge?
Well, why didn't you tell me you were moving here?
Why?
I gotta find out secondhand.
What the fuck do you care? What, are you working in the toll booth now? Besides, I already got the condo in Point Pleasant.
You should have fucking told me.
I'm telling you now. This is strictly a place for me to live. I got no intention of sticking my beak in. I mean, there's our family, and then there's the Soprano family.
We'll see about that.
Ask you something. Why would you take Jackie's kid or something like that?
Somebody's got to show him how the real world works. Kid's got a chip on his shoulder, 23 years old. He's still living at home.
So he can keep an eye on a pencil prick that's banging his mother.
No matter
Hey,
how
Jackie's
nice
son
I
the same
am to
age
that
as me.
little bastard, he still hates me.
Don't look at me. I got a daughter that age. It's all a fucking mystery.
Amen.
I was thinking, being a parent, that's the hardest job. It's harder than this other shit we do, the garbage route, whatever.
Like my first marriage and my kid Justin.
Ralphie, I got some news you're not gonna like. I'm putting a friend in over there as captain.
What?
I mean, that was a bum decision.
The bottom line speaks loudest.
I'm earning my ass off for you. It's my decision.
Jesus Christ, Tom. I ate dinner at your house.
This is business.
I hope Ralphie stays cool with Tony.
Since we last met, I've been thinking about your course of therapy.
Oh, the
Yo,
doctor.
Melfi's attire is crazy. I love her business
I think
attire.
you're ready to move on to behavior modification therapy.
What's that mean? Talk to somebody else? Just because of what happened last time? I'm sorry, but like you said, it's hard to think about that stuff. I mean, it took me how long to remember it even happened?
I realize that.
You know, you're fucking unbelievable. I asked you to get serious in here. And when it gets hard, you pawn me off on somebody else.
Well, Tony's the one that kind of
I'm
refused
just
to do his homework.
introducing the idea. Something for you to think about. I'm going to bring in some things for you to read about behavior modification therapy.
You had to adjust the approach there.
Yes, Richard, he was here earlier today. Yes, we talked about behavior mod, but, well, maybe you could. Listen, I told you I would discharge him, and I will in my own good time.
This is not a good flight of
Richard,
stairs,
look,
man. Like,
I'm
that's
going
dodgy.
into the garage. I'm gonna lose you. I'll see you later.
Ah, to the garage, the car park. My bad. But she probably does this every...
Shut up. Don't turn around. I said shut up. I got a knife. I'll cut you, bitch.
Help!
Shut up. Stop it! I'm gonna fuck you, bitch. You fucking bitch.
She's almost done. We just need a few more swabs.
Well, for God's sake, Jen. You're all right. You're gonna be all right.
I thought that I broke my leg, but it's just really badly sprained.
Oh, God. Bastard.
Did they tell you that they caught him?
Thank God.
We apprehended somebody with the description out of Popeye's chicken, not far from the scene. Of course, the jerk is denying it, but he had our Palm Pilot. Says he found it on the street.
This is Detective Purcell.
Mom.
Jason.
Jesus, Mom. What did these lousy fuckers do?
It's okay. I'm gonna be all right.
I can't believe this shit. I'm gonna kill these motherfuckers.
Jason.
Fuck it, Dad. You know, the whole world is a fucking sore. It's nothing but a fucking sore. It's a bunch of animals out there running wild. And they're fucking winning.
Jason, please. Caught the man that did it. It's okay.
Yeah, I want 5 minutes with that asshole.
Jason, this isn't helping. Now, your mother doesn't need to hear this, so stop it. Why don't you go outside and settle down? I'll be right out. Go ahead.
Hello?
Hello, may I speak to Anthony Soprano, please?
He's not available to the phone right now. Who may I tell him is calling?
Yeah, I was literally about to say, that was literally one of, like, I've seen a lot of films, TV shows where there has been instances where there is an R scene, and that was one of the most difficult ones I'd ever had to watch. I do not know why. Maybe I don't know, because like in other shows or films, like I've had this attachment to the characters where that sort of scene has happened, but this one just hit different for some reason. That one was like one of the most, like, that was probably like the worst one I've ever seen from like memory. And it was like it okay, what happened, all right? Like, we don't need to discuss it more. I'm just interested to see Melfi's reaction here, where clearly there's a little bit of ambiguity in terms of whether it's the same guy they caught or if it's not the same guy they caught. And I'm interested to see how Melfi changes as a character from this experience. Because I was about to say before, it might be a situation where she sort of not embraces the mindset of Tony, but sort of begins to think like Tony, and sort of knows sort of like how he thinks, and sort of it's a situation where she will start thinking like him, possibly in terms of like a revenge situation where it's like the police version, or like whether they can provide justice just locking the guy up, or whether they find him or not. I don't know whether police provide justice, whether that's going to be sufficient enough for Melfi, because we know that's never sufficient enough for Tony, because, you know, he's discussed it before. They're soldiers at war, fighting against an opposition, and they take out those opposition. So it's interesting to see here whether Melfi decides to open up to Tony about this experience, a sort of reverse thing, and whether he decides to take action about it because he cares so much for Melfi, and they have that sort of relationship. And it's going to be interesting to see whether Tony does take action for this, does kill said individual, finds out about him, and how Melfi reacts to that. And it's sort of like becomes this shared experience they have together. It goes beyond, it becomes like sort of like a client, obviously there's a client attorney privilege, but it's something they carry together to the grave for the rest of their life. But
This is Jennifer Melfi. Is this Mrs. Soprano?
Yes, it is, Dr. Melfi. How are you?
Actually, that's why I'm calling. I need to cancel Tuesday's appointment.
Oh, he'll be so disappointed. Nothing serious, I hope.
A little car accident, but I'm fine.
Oh, my God. I hope they had insurance. You weren't hurt, I hope.
Well, my knee got the worst of it, but I'll be up and about in a couple of days.
Well, I'll tell him. You stay off of it and you take care.
Who ate the last piece of cake?
Thank you, I will. Thank you for giving him the message.
It's got to be some marriage.
Hello, Kate. This is Jennifer Melfi. I know talking on the phone upsets you, but I need to cancel our next appointment.
What?
That was your therapist.
Why don't you just announce it on WFAN? Go find some dust.
Oh, no.
She was in a car accident. She has to cancel your next appointment.
She all right?
She said she was okay. She hurt her knee.
Her knee? Really? What happened?
I don't know. She didn't say.
I hope she don't need stitches. Stitches on the knee, they never heal right. Can leave a very bad scar. Any knee injury can be very serious. You know, you can get arthritis for the rest of your life. Ask Joe Namath.
No, thanks.
Listen, last time she mentioned that maybe you would come into my therapy.
Hey, at least Tony's open about
Give you
it.
a perspective on the panic attacks and kind of a home life. Whatever.
Hey, Carmela should...
Sure.
She should appreciate that honesty.
Not now. She's sick.
Listen, I got to give it to Lorraine Bracco this episode so far. She's been absolutely outstanding. And I got to revisit the R scene again because I just have to discuss it. I don't know why, like I said before, this one hit different for some reason. And I just want to say that, like, out of all the violence I've been sort of accustomed to in cinema, in television, everything, like even in this show, the language, anything, like it seems like this was the hardest thing to watch I've seen in like the hardest thing I've had to witness on television or in film in a while. Like it's disgusting. Like I felt like, oh man, like I wanted to, I'm not gonna say I wanted to, like if I was locked in a room with that individual right there, it's the Dark Knight, Batman, and Joker interrogation scene and worse, and then some. That's all I'm gonna say. Because
They call yet?
No, not yet.
I thought they'd call by now.
They said they'd call and they want us to come down.
Well, hold it. I'm gonna call them. Where's that detective's card?
They said they'd call. I don't want to bother them.
no, you hassle them.
I'll let you just wait here. I'm gonna call them.
Listen, for a divorced couple or ex-divorced couple,
Hello, hi, Detective
they are so
Pearsall.
civil with one another. Like, big up Richard.
Oh, I'm on hold. Oh, she is. Then maybe you can help me. This is Dr. LaPenna. I'm calling for Jennifer Melfi. The rape. Right. Detective Pearsall was going to call when you were ready for us to come down for the lineup. What? Why not?
What's going on?
Well, why? I mean, that's absurd. That's ridiculous.
They
Richard,
botched
what
it.
happened?
They botched it.
Even Pearsall, she's moved over to juvie.
She never said anything about that.
So you just let him go? Are you fucking crazy? Yes, I do need to use this kind of language. Obviously, I don't fucking care if you're sorry.
Go at it, Richard.
Fine, you do that. You people haven't heard the end of this. I'm contacting my attorney. Asshole.
What happened?
They mishandled the chain of custody, so they had to let him go.
What chain of custody? They let him go?
Somebody misplaced the evidence kit for a little while or something. I don't know what the fuck they did, those stupid idiots.
Did they just let him out until the trial? Because I can't identify him.
It's a legal thing. I think they just have to let him skip.
That's impossible. You must have misunderstood. Give me the phone. I want to call them.
I just told you everything he told me.
Before or after you started cursing at him. Give me the phone. I want to call them back.
All right, I'll call.
Listen, they talk about a sort of the chain of command, right? this is where I feel like Melfi's moral chain of command is going to come into question here, obviously, because you got a walking criminal on the streets. And this is where the system failed to bring justice. Now, is she going to delve into the other world? Is she going to hire Tony as an employee of the month, per se, to, carry out like justice for that individual, but at the same time she's not a criminal, she doesn't want to get involved in that. So I feel like it's going to be a topsy-turvy battle with Melfi, whether I feel like her instincts want Tony, or like want her to have Tony handle the situation, but I'm going to be interested to see whether she does bring it up with him, whether she does go for the Tony route, or her morals she has prevent her from doing that. It's going to be very interesting to see. And I feel like with the last episode as well, Fortunate Son, and I feel like there were many fortunate sons that episode. Obviously, you can go for Tony, but I mentioned AJ and Jackie, and other individuals in that episode. I feel like Employee of the Month also could mean for, what's his name, Ralphie as well, who's an employee of Tony and is clearly in business with him and is a high earner for Tony, but things had to change as well, and he has to suck it up a little bit.
I don't know what to say. I'm stunned.
You're telling me these motherfuckers have a full-on force on Tony's house, trying to implement wires, find times where the kids are at the house, the maid is at the house, to find, a 2-hour window to install wires, and these motherfuckers can't keep one individual in a... Were they this sloppy back in the day, or did they take these sort of cases less seriously earlier in the 90s and 2000s, like early 2000s? Were these cases not dealt with as seriously as this, or is it just the writing of the show? I'm not sure. Like
custody. What am I gonna do?
Yeah, chain of custody. Sorry.
Well, you're going to have someone escort you to your car at night.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, that's what the rape counselor woman told me. Deserted parking garages are where a huge percentage of these attacks happen.
You think this is my fault? You blame me for what happened, don't you?
Well, how many times did I tell you to call the security guard when you left work late?
It wasn't late.
This isn't doing any good, Jennifer.
Let me tell you something. If I hadn't have been on the phone with you, maybe I would have seen that guy in the stairwell.
What?
You and your fucking heart on about my patient.
So it's my fault.
This is not the time to lay blame like
You should
this.
have seen your face when you heard that fucking shitbag that raped me had an Italian name.
Well, I registered surprise. You were the one who told the police he was a Puerto Rican.
What difference does it make? Are you so ashamed of your background that any misdeed by an Italian somehow damages your self-esteem?
This is so misdirected.
Whole fucking world's about your self-esteem. Or maybe you don't have enough.
Jennifer, come on.
Oh, fuck you, Richard.
Jen.
I'm not sure if... I think Richard genuinely cares, but I think it's his... This is the worst pause frame I could have ever done. I think Richard genuinely cares, but I think it's the... I don't know. I just feel like he's very tame in his approach to this situation. I think he's an individual who I think represents what Melfi wanted when she was talking to Elie earlier on in the episode. But yeah, he like for instance, if Carmela went and told Tony, if this happened to Carmela, she told Tony about this. Tony, well, we know what Tony's reaction would be. He'd bring the house down, like everything would be on fire. Like, God forbid, I don't wish this upon anyone, like in life, of course. If this happened to a woman I cared about deeply, I'd be like Tony. I'd be up in arms about everything, and I don't know. I just feel like I feel like Richard really cares, but I just feel like he doesn't come across as if he has that sort of reaction like Melfi's son did when he came into the hospital room. I just feel like it's a complete, I don't know, different humans have different reactions to things, and I think Richard has just that, much more calm approach. Like, he deeply cares, and I think the Rossi thing with the Italian name did rub him off a bit, but I just feel like, I don't know, they're making such a big fuss out of it. I don't know, it's such a it's just complex characters in this show written fantastically, and it's just the performances have been outstanding.
Jenny Sack told Gabriella she needed a bigger house.
Jenny Sacramone. What she needs is her own zip code.
Jersey's a small state. She moves in. She can tip it over.
I like a woman you can grab onto something.
You grab onto Jenny Sacramone, your fucking hands will disappear.
She's so fat, her blood type is ragu.
She's so fat she goes camping. The bears have to hide their food.
When Ginny hauls ass, she's got to make 2 trips.
2 guys can fuck her at the same time and still never meet.
Oh, Johnny!
Fuck who?
What?
What's so funny?
Nothing. We're just talking about one of the girls.
Is that all you deadbeats do over here?
His
Talk
wife.
about coups?
Well, we're not planting potatoes. Welcome to the Garden State. You want a drink?
I mean it. You don't keep up with current events.
What?
It's all over 10-10 wins. It's right there in front of you, you fucking illiterates. Turn it up.
Oh, is that where they bury the bodies?
That's
Underneath
right,
that
Barry.
bridge?
After years
Oh,
of
okay,
planning
my
and
bad.
delays, there's finally good news for Newark, state, and federal matching funds.
25 fucking million, Madonna mia.
The time has come to
Madonna
return the
mia.
city of Newark and its waterfront to its past glory. By the year 2003, this long-neglected stretch of riverfront will be alive with condominiums, film studios, and public parks, a self-perpetuating
The ducks.
revenue base. The $100 million Newark Museum of Science and Trucking will serve to make this esplanade the destination attraction of the tri-state area and beyond.
This fucking busted police. He's worth every cent of his cut. Fucking drywall contracts alone.
Beautiful portrait. Thank you very much.
You just know they're gonna dip their hands into that. You just know they're gonna get involved.
I'm just so frustrated.
We both are.
I just want to go find that bastard and kill him with these hands, Jen. And I could, and I would, but I can't. They'd put me in jail. That's how messed up things are.
You said Satrial's at 1.
So now you know how it feels.
T, I know why I'm here, and I apologize. I won't let it happen again.
Did the school just not report AJ's attack?
Pissed on the car seats, but he handled himself very good. No cowboy shit, nothing.
Are you listening to me? Leave him out of it.
Fucking kid begged me for a taste. He's the heir apparent.
I don't want him mixed up in his shit.
They got something.
Promised his own man.
Hey, they're over the 40 seconds.
It's all right for me.
They're over the 40 seconds.
I didn't say that.
Cut that shit off.
What else did you say? That the life's good enough for me, but not for little Lord Fuckpants?
Look, he's not suited to it. He's not like you. Like us. Kids today, they're bored. They're spoiled.
I gotta go make a stop in Nutley.
Come here. I love you. You're a good boy.
I mean, that's a bit negligent on the school's behalf to not mention that your son collapsed at training.
Hi. Come on in.
Jesus. What's your other guy look like? Feel the fear and do it anyway. You gotta be fucking kidding me.
The title leaves something to be desired.
It's okay. It's just your,
It's okay. Sorry.
You want me to...
It startled me, that's all.
Maybe you came back to work too soon.
It's better for me to be busy.
Right.
Just gotta keep your mind off things. That's one strong ass woman, man. Like, big up Melfi.
I'm okay. Really. And I appreciate your concern.
You know when you know an individual has to wear a smile? This is one of those moments. You can see right through it. Like, I can see... You just know when you've experienced a little bit of shit like that in your life, like, in terms of, like, not obviously what Melfi had to go through, but other things with, like, family, parents, and stuff like that. You can just read people a little bit better in terms of, like, just knowing when something's up.
See, that's what's wrong with the world, right there. An innocent person is driving along, minding their own business, and some fucking asshole comes out and smashes into him.
I feel like that analogy applies to a lot of things, not just the
You
car.
can't control everything that happens.
But you can get pissed off.
And then what? Lose control?
Who said anything about that? You direct your anger where it belongs.
You have panic attacks. Panic occurs when feelings of anger, revenge, whatever overwhelm you. That's where behavioral therapy comes in. It can teach you to control those triggers.
You want anything? Coke?
Nah, I'm set. I heard about Ralph Cifaretto, that he got passed over.
You heard about what? Who?
I'm just saying, Ralph. That's probably a smart move. I mean, the more I get to know him, he's kind of a cool guy, but...
It's none of your fucking concern. You told me you were gonna go to college. Then I gotta hear from Chris the shit I'm hearing about you.
You didn't talk to Chris. Ah, shit.
That's right. I promised you that. Don't make this hard on me, Jackie. I already got one son that bust my balls.
He's gonna make it hard on Jackie. He's like a second son to him. He can't. But Jackie's making it so hard.
Hey, Jackie. What are you doing here?
I'm waiting for you.
What, I don't get a hello?
I need $200 for November to put in my student account.
You don't talk to me for weeks, but my money's still growing.
I'm looking forward to total independence, believe me. African Americans go to Columbia, Dad. Some of them are my friends.
Spread my ass under a blanket on my couch watching television with his shoes off. With you.
Meadow, when did you get here? Mwah.
It's only half an hour away, eh?
See you later, Jackie. Say hello to your mother.
We'll do sushi.
Don't worry, Tom. I won't say anything about the ammonia.
You just remember what we talked about.
Hey, Jackie, go off to college with Meadow, man. Like, something.
I'll have a chicken avocado wrap, no dressing, and a Coke, please.
I was about to say the workers are wearing exactly the same colored cap as the individual who assaulted Melfi. And this could either be a dream or could have some serious panic attack from Melfi here where it triggers something.
Number 3, dress.
That's him! Jesus. I do not want to see this woman on my screen. Like, honestly.
Excuse me. Wait a minute.
Tony said, "Don't f with the Russians."
Follow me.
I don't want continuation. You give us slag and we go.
What leg?
Don't do this to me. Don't push me to edge. Repent on yourself.
Motherfucker, do you know who I am? Do you know who my brother is?
Mother, what? What did you say?
Motherfucker!
Hey, she put herself in this position.
Those records were all I had to remember my mother by. What could it possibly mean to her? A few pennies. Are you people really so callous?
Fuck you. You are callous.
Hey, listen to Big Pun over here. Okay, this got to be a dream because Melfi's completely healed. Yo, this show knows how to nail dream sequences.
Oh my God!
Is that dream sequence Is Tony meant to be the dog in that scene that comes to the rescue and helps Melfi? Is that her, is that her thoughts playing in her mind where, should I tell Tony about this, and should he be the one to sort of, like, provide justice for me? Is Tony meant to be the dog in that dream right there where he comes to the rescue and kills that individual? Because that's what Melfi's, I feel like, contemplating at the moment. That's the thoughts going through her mind at the moment. I could be wrong, but that's how I see it. And I feel like her getting stuck in the vending machine and having
felt such a sense of relief.
sorry, the two pieces of pasta, I don't know, kind of remind me of like the Matrix, the red, blue pill, and you have to choose one of them. And I feel like she's contemplating both sides right there, the two pieces of pasta, and she's caught up in her decision. She gets caught up in the vending machine. So she doesn't know what choice to make. In terms of like, does she go down the path where she stays by her moral code and knows that there's an individual like that who she can clearly identify, knows where he works, and let him run free because the justice system, or sort of like the justice system failed? Or does she go down the other path where, she hires the dog to take out the criminal? So I feel like that's just the thoughts weighing on Melfi's mind at the moment. And she's obviously telling her feelings right now to Elliot about how she felt about the situation. And yeah, it's an easy path to go to Tony. She's clearly tempted by it because, like I said before, she knows where the employee works at, and she can easily identify him.
I felt safe for the first time since it happened.
Empowered.
Tony's the guard dog, per se.
The dog, though. I don't know.
The forbidden part of your psyche. Murderous rage.
Yeah, but at first, I thought he was after me.
Nah, he had a guard dog, fam.
Actually, no. It said high voltage. Call NJGE before digging. Jersey Gas and Electric.
Was Richard anywhere in all this?
Oh my God. The dog.
That's Tony.
A Rottweiler, Elliot. Big head, massive shoulders. Direct descendant of the dog used by the Roman armies to guard their camps.
I didn't know that.
And digging. Who do I dig with and who's dangerous? Who could I sick on that son of a bitch to tear him to shreds? No feeling has ever been so sweet as to see that pig beg and plead and scream for his life because the justice system is fucked up, Elliot. Richard's got his attorney looking into this at $300 an hour. But meanwhile, that employee of the month cocksucker is back on the street. And who's gonna stop him? You?
I literally just echoed those thoughts.
Civilization.
Oh, don't worry. I'm not going to break the social compact. But that's not saying there's not a certain satisfaction in knowing that I could have that asshole squashed like a bug.
Yeah, like she...
If I wanted.
Literally, she has that satisfaction in her mind at the moment that literally she knows where this individual works at. She could easily, at the flick of a switch, tell Tony what happened and he will take care of it and have that sort of clarity or peace of mind knowing that that individual is not on the street. But then the other, like, the thing is, the justice system fucked up, right? Like, what would you do in Melfi's situation? I want to point this question to you guys. What would you do in this Melfi situation? Because at the same time, either you go hard out on the justice system, or you could maybe tell Tony, listen, do you have any contacts in the NY that can somehow apprehend this individual and prevent him from, like, not doing it again, but, like, get him locked up? Like, because at the same time, more women are at risk with this man roaming free. So you got that here, and then you got Melfi pondering, okay, if I go to Tony and obviously get him to murder this individual, like, that's me becoming a criminal, or like getting into that world, getting sucked into his world. So like, it's that scale. It's trying to, like, which one outweighs the other? And oh man, I love this episode so much because the questions it ponders to the audience. I'm not just watching this episode kicking back. And I feel like I haven't watched this show in general, just kicking back and absorbing the chaos that's ensuing. This question, this episode, sorry, gets the viewers question. This show in general, not just the episode, gets the viewers questioning as much as the characters in this show, and that's what I love about it. Fantastic writing.
What happened? Janice.
A complete different change in tones of
I broke 3 ribs.
Richard visiting Jennifer and Tony visiting Janice.
To mess with those people.
I was supposed to be married at this point in my life.
Yeah, so?
The man I loved died.
Brother.
This is all I fucking need. Thanks, Janice.
What?
What do you mean, what? They slapped my sister around.
Now he's got to take care of it. Yeah.
It's always something when you, isn't it? Every time I hear your voice on that phone, I know it's gonna cost me. Time. Money.
But it's odd. Because I feel born again in the Lord. And I
Oh, no.
And I asked him to forgive Svetlana for what she's done.
Janice, we've been here before.
You're praying to the wrong Lord.
And Richard fucking Alpert and the Coyote Spirit. And you know what it always spells?
Oh,
Trouble.
okay. I was about to say
For the rest of
bullshit.
So put your fucking clothes on. Seriously. Because I gotta get the fuck out of here.
I give myself up utterly and totally to God. If this is the bottom. If not...
You can go now. Billy needs to see you. Follow the blue line.
Like I said before, the complete opposite in interactions before with Richard attending to Melfi and the situation she was in, and then the situation Janice and Tony's in. It's almost, for Tony, it's a chore to have to go deal with these Russians. He don't want to. He knew what his sister was getting into. And yeah, it almost feels like it's a burden to him to do that. Whereas I feel like if the roles were reversed and Tony was the one to visit Melfi in that hospital, you could tell it would be like because I feel like Tony would have shown more affection to Melfi than his sister right there. And even though it's his sister, it's his family, he's caused so much chaos for him. And I feel like he's read her by now. He knows where her true intentions lie. Whether for Melfi, I feel like he'd feel to himself he's doing a favor, whereas, taking out that guy. But for Janice, it's almost if it's a burden, it's a chore, and I'm probably gonna, waste money, time, resources, and it could get even worse with these Russians. Who knows? Johnny Sack coming from New York to here is clearly
okay, but maybe take a little bit of a halfway step.
Is clearly the big dogs trying to keep an eye on what's happening in Jersey, or trying to get a hand in what's happening in Jersey.
What we do in life echoes.
The big ass estate.
He's fucking obsessed with Gladiator.
Man, it's a great fucking film.
It is.
Strength and honor.
Scotch and soda.
Are you not entertained by my reactions?
J&B, right, Tom?
Hey, what do you think a place like this set John back?
Who gives a shit?
Fucking landscape alone's got to be 100, 150 G's. And to keep up this lawn. Property taxes, and you got to pay those.
Taxes.
Why don't they use the money to fix the goddamn air traffic controllers? Fighting terrorism, that's what we should do.
Johnny Sack gonna get whacked.
Zimbabwe. Fucking soccer game.
Oh, no assigned seating, always a problem.
He knows he's getting in Ralphie's head. Something's up.
Well, you're not using the cane anymore. Been making my list.
Yeah, he's doing his homework.
Even bought a little notebook.
Good, that's good.
And I've been thinking about your behavior therapy idea. Maybe you got a point. I could use some help with a few things, and if they can help me there, I should go there.
No.
You sure about that? Because the last couple of times I've been getting the distinct feeling that you're giving me the boot. What's the matter? Hey,
Come on, open up, please.
What did I do? Come on, huh? Hey. Come on. What did I do? What's the matter? Tell me, what's the matter?
Go sit over there. We'll do this. Go. It's just my knee.
What? I mean, you want to say something?
No.
That no was so impactful. Like, it's not even funny. Like, that no right there was so impactful. Like, the way she delivered that line, I'm not sure if that's her, like pulling the plug on her telling Tony, and going down that path. I feel like I gotta stand by my morals. I'm not getting involved in this. That's it. No, I'm not hiring the dog. I'm not hiring the dog to do my dirty work. Yeah, man. I just for the sake. I don't know. I feel like the way to see. We've seen Tony go on rants so many times in this show, about the fucking shitbags on, like, when he goes on rants about other individuals in the world, and then it plays again to what his mindset is with taking out people in the game. Whereas I love that analogy Tony said, because it's got me thinking so much about they're soldiers at war and they're going up against only other opposition that are involved in the same line of work they are. But I feel like right there, he'd be so supportive, like, of taking out this individual for Melfi, because he sees it as another dirty individual cleaned off the streets. That's how he will see it of, because even though, like, he's sort of like the same thing, he's like bad for what, it's just like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, the mafia individuals, they're involved in criminal activity, but it's like Tony sees it and tries to justify it. Obviously, he's like, he knows no other way. He was born and bred and brought up into this world, but he sees it in a way where it's like it's justified within their sort of like it's justified within their world. If you take out another individual, it's justified taking out one another and doing things against one another, like players against players, soldiers against soldiers. But Melfi doesn't see it that way, because it's like, obviously she sees it from the normal perspective of a human. It's criminals doing criminal things. Like, that's what it is. It's illegal stuff. But I want Tony to find out about this, because I know that's gonna impact their relationship forever. And it's just, man, this episode was fantastic. I don't want to say if it's the best episode of the show so far, but it is one of the best episodes of the show so far. And I can see one of the comments said last in my episodes 1 and 2 reactions that this season is the season that really got people hooked on this show, and I can see now why. Like, this episode would have had a major impact at the time, and I'm interested to see how it was received at the time as well. But yeah, I feel like I need to break down and then analyze it a bit more, but I feel like I've overdone it this episode. I don't know if I've tried to overcomplicate things or I got things right. But it was such an interesting episode, and I'm not forgetting the fact that AJ collapsed at the end of episode 3 and was just not told. Like, it's very interesting that they didn't find out about that. He collapsed in Fortunate Son and they're not aware of it. The school hasn't told him, or like, yeah, it's interesting. It's very interesting. Or they're going to get told, like, because clearly time has passed this episode with Tony doing repeated therapy sessions, weeks, possibly a month. So yeah, to not find out about AJ, I don't know if AJ told the school not to tell him, or it's negligent on the school, because this is an issue that needs to be addressed, and if it's not addressed, it could have disastrous ramifications for the future. But yeah, I'm very interested. Maybe Carmela knows, hasn't told Tony. I'm not too sure. But yeah, this was a fantastic episode of The Sopranos, a fantastic episode of television in general. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. As always, been your boy Elie Moses. Take care. God bless. Peace. I just want to discuss that episode a bit more, and I tend to do this with like fantastic episodes or shows. Like I dwell on them a little bit after, like instead of just going straight into the next episode, I just sit here, just think about it before I even get to editing. If I want to get into editing straight away, I just have to articulate my thoughts a bit more. There was one scene I really wanted to comment on that I've forgotten the reaction, and it was, I feel like the show was intently trying to, have a heavy focus on it, because when Richard was speaking to Melfi, I was like, okay, well on Richard, like for, expressing that you want to kill this individual. Like you can sort of sympathize with his feelings right there, for clearly something that happened to an individual he loves and cares about. And his fists, it cut to a close-up of his fist really clenched, and then it cut to another close-up of him, but then he just dropped them. And I feel like it was a situation where he's a powerless individual, or he felt powerless in that he couldn't do anything himself to, sort of, not serve justice upon Melfi, but like to sort of like go out of his way and get this individual, and bring him to justice per se. Like he's doing what he can with the lawyer and stuff, but him physically as an individual can't do anything himself. And then I love how immediately after that, because I went and revisited that scene quickly right there, it immediately cut to a low angle shot of Tony using his fist of his with the axe to break the wood. And I feel like yet again you've seen so many low angle shots of Tony this show to obviously showcase his dominance, his Hulk-like presence, a powerful individual right there. And I feel like that was a great juxtaposition cut to show an individual that feels powerless, or feels like sort of like he cannot provide any aid to Melfi, or he's like he feels helpless in that scenario, and then you cut to an individual in Tony Soprano who we know can do things with his hands and is sort of like an all-powerful individual in this show who can bring upon a lot of damage to individuals. Not only just the wood right there, obviously I feel like the wood was a metaphor for something else, but like from an individual that feels powerless with his hands, in Richard. And then we cut to a low angle shot obviously with Tony, showcasing his dominance over this piece of wood, or just showing his Hulk-like presence on screen, covering up the majority of the screen, and being able to demolish, obviously, just with a single blow, the wood himself, and like just chop it in half. But I just love that cut right there, and I felt like I needed to give that scene the attention it deserved, because I didn't during the episode. I remember I stayed quiet and I wanted to comment on it, because I'm like, okay, Richard is expressing his feelings a little bit here, but it cut to a close-up of his fist, and then he just drops them because he feels he's powerless, he can't do anything himself. And then, like I said, it immediately cuts to Tony in a position of dominance, an individual who we know is powerful and has the capacity to do things, and the network to do things as well. He can do it himself, or we know he has a lot of people that can help him out. So I just wanted to comment on that scene specifically, because I feel like I covered a lot of other scenes, but that was the one I really wanted to tackle. So I hope you guys enjoyed the reaction. Take care. God bless. Peace.